And we are live with another episode of the Embracing Joy podcast. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to introduce our special guest with you all today, Dr. Michelle Quirk, right?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, so it's such a pleasure to have you. So, our episode today is about reclaiming your health and well being through running with Dr. Quirk. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a board certified, let me turn the music down. She is a board certified pediatrician and certified run coach with the Road Runners Club of America. And she founded Mindful Marathon to help busy professionals make running easy and fun so that they can achieve their fitness goals and improve their health and also improve their mindfulness. She coaches athletes and she leads a mindful movement retreat and is the host of the Mindful Marathon podcast. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to speak with you and your audience.
All right, so we usually start with a short warm-up game.
Okay.
It's called Convergence or Mind Meld. It's an improv game. And you will just say the first word on your mind, and I say the first word on my mind, and we see if we can connect the two somehow on the second round, like so that we can say the same word, such
Okay.
as such as someone said river, someone said ocean, and then the next person we say water together, something like that.
Okay.
Um, Ready on the count of three. One, two, three. Dirt.
Purple.
Oh, purple. That's my favorite color. Okay. I said dirt and purple. Something connects connects those two. Uh, okay. Let's think about it. We're gonna okay on the count of
Flowers,
three.
maybe.
Wait,
Oh, sorry.
wait. One, two, three. Flowers. You said flowers already. All right. We have to start over, I think, because of that. Okay, so on the count of three, say the first word that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay.
One, two, three.
Bird.
CD. I don't know why CD. So a CD and a bird. Okay, I got it. Okay, ready? Something that connects those two. One, two, three. Music.
Song.
Yeah, same. Yeah, because music and song, because birds sing.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Awesome. So that was our game. It's a quick little warm up. And let's head right into our questions. So, and then I can call you Michelle or Dr. Quirk. Okay,
Oh,
Michelle.
no, Michelle's good.
Okay. Okay, Michelle. So many high achieving professionals, they struggle to find time for themselves. How would you say running, especially when they do it mindfully, can become a source of joy and mental clarity rather than just a fitness routine? How does that happen?
Yeah. I think this one, I think it helps busy professionals, especially those of us who are very high achieving, to create time for ourselves. And I think that doesn't always come naturally. And for me, I wouldn't say that at the beginning when I started running, I had this grand goal of like, oh, I'm carving out this like me time for myself. But I think that's what it became, or at least I enjoyed that time with myself and my thoughts so much that that's why I kept lacing up my sneakers and going out and doing it.
Mhm.
And I just think that doesn't always come naturally for people. And so maybe carving out that time, even if it's a short time, to do whatever exercise you like, you don't have to be a runner, but carving out that time can help you kind of journey back to yourself. Like I found running during a particularly difficult time in my life. Like I wasn't
Mhm.
always a runner or an athlete. And, I had started my first job as an attending and moved to a new place. I was newly married. My dad was diagnosed with cancer and passed away like shortly after the diagnosis. So all of these things happened at once, but that's really when I started running, and I would just go out for 5 or 10 minutes. And I thought, it's not much, but it's something. And like starting there was just really helpful. And, that habit stuck. That was like 13 years ago. So here we are
Wow.
today.
Wow, you said that it also you were there with your thoughts. Like how did it give you any clarity to your thoughts? Like how did you think more positively when you're running versus when you're not running or you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think at that time when I was not running, I had so many thoughts in my head because of all that was going on at the time. And when I was running, I was really only focused on that one thing, like
Mm,
just staying,
yeah.
how far I'm going, my footfalls on the pavement. Maybe I was paying attention to the scenery and nature outside. But other than that, the mind was quiet. And that was like
Mm.
my first experience with that.
Wow. So just like being present and
Yeah.
yeah, and that mindfulness that you mentioned. Um,
Yeah.
what are some of the biggest misconceptions or like mental blocks that you see professionals have when it comes to starting a running practice? And what's some tips that you would give them?
Yeah, there's a couple here. I think the biggest one I hear is that I don't have time. I think we can all relate to that. We're all very busy and our schedules are extremely full already. And so a lot of people have like a scarcity of time, I think. And for some of us, it's sort of like, well, if I can't do fill in the blank, if I can't get out for 30 minutes or I can't do 3 miles or whatever that is in your mind, it's like it's
Mhm.
not worth it. And for a long time, I think I fell into that trap. Like, well, I can't go out and run 3 miles. Like, especially when I started, I was huffing and puffing and it didn't feel good. And so
Mhm.
I couldn't do that. And so I thought, well, I'll never be a runner. And I think working with the parameters you have, like, even if you have 5 or 10 minutes, it makes a difference. And you can build from anywhere. But like starting where you are is one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to be an athlete, you don't have to be a track star of some kind. Like you can be a normal human and lace up your sneakers and go for a walk, and it doesn't have to be long, and we can work from there. So time scarcity is one. The other one would be, I think I alluded to this, but like that you have to go a certain distance or you have to do it a certain way to be a runner. Like when you think of a runner, what comes to mind? And a lot of
Mhm.
people would maybe not.
Marathon runner, like
Yes, yes.
somebody who's fast and they're just,
Yeah, yeah, or like the Olympics or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I encourage people, like, if you are lacing up your sneakers and you're running, it doesn't matter what pace. You can walk, you can take walk breaks, you can go slowly. Like if you run, you're a runner, and there's no one. We make these ideas in our head of what a runner or an athlete means for us, and
Mhm.
so if you could abandon that and just try to try not to have something pop in your mind, but when you think of a runner, think of yourself lacing up your shoes and going outside. But I think those are the two big ones.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a different perspective to have, and it makes a huge difference that, you can be a runner at any stage. You don't have to be super fast or run long distances.
Yeah.
And the time, you can run for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always give my example. I'll use my mom as an example. I talked her and my mother-in-law into doing our first half marathon together. This was in like 2016.
Mhm.
And we used run walk intervals. So Jeff Galloway is a coach who really, like, this is his method and how he promotes long distance running and using these run walk intervals, and that's how we did it. And so age is not necessarily a limiting factor, and speed is not necessarily a limiting factor, and you can cover short and long distances no
Mhm.
matter what. So some inspiration.
Yeah, that's very inspirational. You've kind of built this connection, this beautiful connection between mindfulness and running through your mindful marathon. Excuse me. Can you share a few simple strategies that our listeners can use to bring more mindfulness into their workout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this question. I'm going to give three simple things. So the first one, and this doesn't have to be just about running, but for any of your workouts, the first one would be to maybe set an intention before you go out for your walk or your run. Like what do I want to get out of this time with myself today? And that could be different things depending on the day, like a way to get out my energy, just some quiet time, some time with nature, whatever it is for you. But just take like 30 seconds or a minute and ask yourself before you go out, when you're doing your warm up, what is my pre-run intention? And then in the run, two things. So one would be to leave your headphones at home. So I know a lot of walkers and runners like to listen to music or podcasts or audiobooks when they're out walking and running. And I would encourage you to just experiment, like leave them at home or leave them in your pocket at least for the first 10 minutes and just notice what is around you. I think when I first started, I did not do this. And what happened was I forgot them one day and I thought, oh, I forgot my headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Should I run back home and get them? And I thought, no, I'm on the trail. I'll just go without it. And I noticed so much more, especially in the fall. I live in the Northeast, but the changing leaves and all of the animals on the trail and the birds chirping and the sound of the river flowing, like all of those things that I never noticed when I was listening to music. So I would encourage you, leave your headphones at home. And then the third one would be to consider like a body scan, a very simple body scan when you're in the run. And so you could do it a number of ways. Probably the easiest is just tapping into your senses. So
Mm-hmm.
what am I seeing right now? What am I hearing? And then taking a moment to notice that. What am I feeling? Your footfalls on the pavement or the trail, wherever you happen to be. But maybe hopefully you feel a nice breeze on your skin. Right now it's so hot and humid. I've been feeling really hot in
Yeah.
that moment, but yes. So focus on your senses, or you could do like a head to toe, like how am I feeling, and just start at your head and like go to your toes, and that could take anywhere from a minute to a half hour, and then your run is over. So it helps pass the time, but it helps to keep you in the moment.
Yeah, and in tune with your body and your breathing and everything. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I love that. And those are pretty simple to incorporate. You don't need any like special items, special tracker,
Nope.
you just
I
yeah,
like to say like running is like, it's a very cheap sport when you get into it. Like the only real piece of gear you need is a pair of running sneakers. But then we joke about that because now, after all of the race registrations and traveling to destination races and running in Disney, like my husband and I joke about this a lot. But yes, cheap sport on the way in.
yeah. So thank you very much. I think we touched on like this running with mindfulness and running as a um, source of joy as well, because when you have that mindfulness, it kind of opens you up to more joy and more acknowledgement of what's around you. So, Michelle, who is a model of joy in your life and why?
Yeah, I think for this one, so I'm a pediatrician, and I'm going to say a lot of the children I see in the peds office, like generally between the ages of like 3 and 6. But they're just very in the moment and very funny usually. And yeah, just like your instant friend. And they want to show me their toys, their books, and everything. And yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I think we can learn a lot from the little ones and how they are very much in the moment.
Hmm. And so open to the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are your top, if you're cooking a cake of joy,
Yeah.
what would be your top three ingredients?
Oh, okay. This was a hard question for me. I wasn't sure what you were going for there.
Hmm.
I think I answered, let's see, being in the moment, being open, and love. Is that
Hmm.
what you mean? Is that what you meant with that question?
Yeah. Like certain things that for you, like what would make for your joy, like what would be your top three ingredients? So it's like
Yeah.
being in the moment, being present, being open, and
Yeah.
having love. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
It's probably
So,
a purple cake.
oh, nice. Nice. Okay, so, how can the audience reach you? So, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Probably, I'm going to say on Instagram. So my handle there is at mindful.marathon. And if you want, my website is mindful-marathon.com. Either place.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. It's been such a pleasure having you. If you're listening to this episode or just starting on your running journey, be sure to check out Dr. Michelle Quirk on her Instagram and start incorporating some of the tips that she gave us today, which are very insightful and pretty easy to start. Please share and like this episode, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care. Thank you again, Dr. Michelle.
Thanks so much for having me. Thanks, everybody.
Mhm.